Welcome to chapter 36. We are entering the last block of units pertaining to Mari culture as regards the content and yeah, the grammar. It's just by the time we were compiling these chapters of the textbook, it was just making sure we've got everything in there for morphosyntax and if we've covered all semantic categories. So it's going to be stray ends basically. There was no longer enough left to make a coherent theme for this chapter. I mean, for this block of chapters. So the very first point, that we have is a grammatical, mostly a revision of stuff that we have already seen, but we're going to look at it in a somewhat systematic fashion. And those are the particles ыл'e and ulmаш they are forms of the verb to be in the third person singular, like was and was, but was in the first past tense and was in the second past tense. But they are also used in a wide range of periphrastic constructions. And one rule that, thing that we can already establish, or like a guiding principle, is that ыл'e is more observed, and ulmаш is always indirect evidence, something that you did not see with your own eyes, something that happened in the distant past. But also it sometimes has so-called mirative extension. It sometimes shows something that surprised you, that went against your expectations. So just a quick overview of where we've had it. We had it as part of the compound past tenses in the indicative. I'm not going to review them all again now because we have discussed these. But let's just remember that we had these four forms that were 1 and 2 were the present tense forms with ыл'e and ulmаш, positive, negative. I've here only given the positive forms, but it works exactly the same in negation. And then we had 3 and 4, which were simple past tense 2 with ыл'e and ulmаш, also positive, negative. Yeah, but the new stuff we want to look at today in like trying to make this halfway systematic is if we want to form past tense forms of modal constructions or things like that, things where we are not using the indicative finite forms, but we want to put it in the past tense when it is meaningful to do so. We can also use ыл'e and ulmаш, for example, in the desiderative or with the necessitive infinitive in man. So if we said, for example, melam kaiman in the present tense, I have to go. Let's start with Valentina. What do you guess? What could the past tense forms of this be?
Yeah, so it would be melam kaiman ыл'e or melam kaiman ulmаш.
Yeah, and. Yeah, so the translation, I'll take over this because this is a bit tricky. Both of them means I had to go, but in the first one it would be just like in the neutral sense that yeah, like I was at this party, but then I realized it was late and I had to go. In the second one, it is more like it turns out that you had to go, but you didn't. Like it's like a mirative thing. It's like it turns out that I should have left at that point, that I would have had to go or so. So this is like why you can also with the first person singular, you can have it. It turns out that you should have done something, but you didn't. Yeah, and in negation, maybe Luan can form the negated forms here.
So this would be melam kayaman ogel ıl'e or melam kayaman ogel ulmаш.
Yeah. And again, it's like I didn't have to go, or it turns out that I did not have to go. It's like I was at this party and I left because I still had homework, but then I got home and I checked my emails and my classes had been canceled. So it turns out that I wouldn't have had to go, but I did. That would be like a possible mirative case. So, and desiderative, here we have we're whole paradigms just for revision. And first up is Sonia for the positive forms of, let's say, this is very mean, asking you to form forms, but I didn't even write of what verb. The paradigm, it's tolash, to come. Can you form the positive first past tense forms, like I wanted to come? I can't hear you.
Sorry. Tolnem ıl'e, tolnet ıl'e, tolne ıl'e.
Careful. Tolne, something's missing.
Tolneje.
Tolneje.
Tolneje. Oh, sorry, that's the possessive suffix
Exactly.
in the third form. Tolneje ıl'e,
Yeah.
tolnena ıl'e, tolneda ıl'e, and tolnesht ıl'e.
Very good. And then Sandra, can you do the negated forms?
I would just guess I would have to add ogil.
No. How was the desiderative negated? The ogil thing, that would be like in the simple past tense too. But the desiderative has own forms of the negation verb. So.
Oh, is that the shim? No.
That's in the first past tense. Okay, I'll do the first one and maybe the rest will come to you. So I didn't want to go is unem tol ıl'e. So we have the negation verb, the stem of the negation verb, which is here and then ne for the desiderative, and then just.
So then ine tol ıl'e, ineje tol ıl'e, ilena. Inena, sorry. Inenator ıl'e, inedator ıl'e, and inestor ıl'e.
Right. Very good. And I'm going to skip making somebody do it with ulmаш because it is exactly the same. Tolnem, ulmаш, etc. And of course, here with the desiderative, it is less likely that you have a first person form, that I wanted to do something, but I didn't know about it at the time. And like the Russian grammars, for example, will sometimes tell you that it's not even, that it doesn't exist, that these forms are, that they'll have paradigms that are just missing the first person singular things. But if you look at the corpus, you will actually find forms like this, because it could be like, I didn't feel tired at all, but then I went and I sat down and I fell asleep, and it turned out that I wanted to sleep, or something like that. Like something, it turned out that you wanted to do something, but you didn't know it beforehand. So it's like you can actually find examples like this in the corpus. And I mean, this is a recurring thing sometimes, especially in Russian grammatical sources, that you often would have things labeled as like ungrammatical when they're just uncommon. Like a good example of this is, so like the Russian verb nravitsa, which is like to appeal, like it's like COPIUS Mari, like I like it would be like мне нравится or something like that. To me, it appeals with the dative form. And like I've seen it in dictionaries labeled as an impersonal verb form, like that it's always in the third person singular. But that's not true, because it's like German gefallen. It works like the same thing in the same way. Usually it's in the third person, like das gefällt mir or so, but you can also have it in the first or second person. Gefalle ich dir, du gefällst mir. Like, do I appeal to you? You appeal to me. It's possible. It's just not common. So yeah, this is something where we, when writing the Mari English Dictionary, Timothy Riese and I tried to be pedantic about this, that when our sources said that something is impersonal, we made extra sure that it is really not possible to have it outside of the third person before we accepted that label. Okay. Yeah, here we have some usage examples. Sorry, one moment. It's getting a bit too hot in here, so I'm going to turn the heat off. Okay, so by going to turn the heat off and open the window, I gave you some time to look at these examples. So yeah, so here we see Sergey want to make a video about a Mari wedding for a long time. Sergey shukercek Marisian again. Video suretem üste neige ıl'e. So this is like as regards evidentiality and neutral form. He just wanted to do it. But if we are in the second sentence saying "Midinem kutrenet ulmashkin," like you wanted to talk to me, but with the second past tense form with ulmash, molan yingeten otel, why didn't you call? So here it's like you wanted to talk to me, but I didn't know about it. So there's like the accusation in this, like, how was I supposed to know you wanted to talk to me? This was not evident to me at the time. Yeah. But then sometimes it can also be that something happened like a long time ago with ulmash. If it would be like grandfather talking about his childhood, which is in foggy memory, something like that. Okay, something that is new this week, though, is that we're also going to have a look at past tense forms of the necessitive construction using the future necessitive participle in shash. When we had forms like mi tunem shash ulam, I have to study. Here they can also form past tense forms with ıl'e and ulmash, but in the positive forms of the first past tense forms, there is actually some alternation that I can't really explain. So I'm going to take this one before giving the word back to Valentina. I'll do the positive forms. You can either say luchash ulam ıl'e, like the present tense form with ulam and then ıl'e, or you can say luchash ilem, that you say that you just put the to be in the first past tense. Both work, and it can be luchash ulat ıl'e or luchash ilyach or luchash ıl'e, because remember we don't have a copula in the third person singular. And then luchash ulana ıl'e or luchash ilna, luchash ulada ıl'e, luchash ilda, and luchash ulat ıl'e or luchash ilyach. Right, and then in negation, here we only have the one form that we have the present tense form. So with the negation of to be with ıl'e afterwards. And Valentina, do you want to give it a shot?
Sure. So luchash omil ıl'e, luchash otil ıl'e, luchash ogil ıl'e, luchash oginal or onal ıl'e, luchash ogidal or odal ıl'e, and luchash ogitil ıl'e.
Very good. Yeah. And again, with ulmash, I'm not going to make anyone go through it because it is exactly the same, except we don't have these parallel forms here. It is just luchash ulam ulmash, ulat ulmash, luchash ulmash, luchash ulana ulmash, luchash ulada ulmash, luchash ulat ulmash. There's some definite tongue twister potential in these forms, I would say. Again, luchash omal ulmash, luchash otel ulmash, luchash ogel ulmash, luchash oganal or ornal ulmash, luchash ogadal, odal ulmash, luchash ogatal ulmash. Yeah. And here we have some usage examples. Again, where the semantically the difference is again the same stuff like with the desiderative construction. That if we have the ıl'e forms, it's like Ivan Pashajim Nil Shagatlan Pitarashash ıl'e. Ivan had to get his work done by 4. This is neutral as regards evidentiality. But if we say Ivan Pashajim Nil Shagatlan Pitarashash ulmash, okay, this is not actually evidentiality here. This is more like showing that he didn't actually manage it. Like he should have gotten it done, but he didn't. Yeah. So, yeah, and like looking at the different functions of ıl'e ulmash, the last point which we have in the grammar is actually the first, in the textbook is actually the first point that I mentioned, that we can also just use it as the copula, the past tense forms of to be in predicative senses, like tida verste shanem ondak pert ıl'e. In this place, I remember there was a house or so. Okay, are there any questions about ıl'e and ulmash before I move on? Okay, next point is a fairly quick one. Oops, sorry. And that is the unproductive separative marker M. So it looks exactly like the accusative. And And that is that we have a few spatial adverbs and postpositions in which we have an M as a separative marker, roughly that is seems to be equivalent to ich. And what the distribution between the two is, don't know at this point. So if we look at the paradigm of some stems that use these unproductive endings, like kasvel, the west, or olembal, the bench, when we had kasveke onto the into the west, kasvelne in the west, kasvelan west with the lative, and then from the west, Luan, what would you say for from the west? What options come to mind?
So probably Dutch, or
yeah, that's one possibility. You can say, or you can say kasvel gitch, but you can also use two endings, suffixes directly on the stem.
Wait, what's this? Sorry, no, I can't remember.
Yeah, no problem. This was a sneak attack. Sorry about that. It could be, we have the separative ch that we have in words like detch or gitch or whatnot that you can attach directly to the stem. And you can have then kasvich, kasvechen with the long form from the west. But you can also say kasvelem, which it looks like the accusative form of kasvel, the west, but it just means from the west often. And likewise, if we have olembal, the bench, we can have olembach, olembachen from the bench, or also olembalem. Yeah. Not much I have to say on the topic beyond this. Next grammar point we have is reduplication, something we have met implicitly but want to look at it explicitly here. So we have a few different reduplication strategies in Mari. What I'm showing you here is not the complete overview of all strategies, but it's the most common and most productive one. The fun that we have is full reduplication. That is, you just take the whole stem and you say it twice for intensification of a sort. So if we say like ugich again, we can say again and again by just saying ugich, ugich. Or like koklan, occasionally koklan, koklan from time to time. Or kande, blue, we can say kande, kande, very blue. This is not quite as common as it is, for example, in Udmurt. In Udmurt, this is very common for like intensifying color terms or whatnot, but it does happen. Then we have vowel alternation. I'm going to do these again because they are not fully predictable. And that is that we just basically, we take one stem and we reduplicate it, but we change the vowel in the second form. And I have a very hard time saying what the specific meaning of this is. So if we have like kader, crooked, we can have kader guder, where the shift from K to G, this is just because it's between a sonorant and a vowel. That when we come to compounds, we're going to look at this again. That's basically a common process. We have tigede, small, like in small in the sense that something is like has many small parts. If we want to intensify this, you can also say tigede tagide. Like if we want to say like the really tiny little objects or something like that. Or if we have shuk, junk, rubbish, we can also have shuk shak. These are also again sort of just emphatic forms. And these are strategies that are fairly common in the region. Turkic languages do this too. The next one though is a Turkic classic, the so-called P reduplication. This is a strategy of partial reduplication using a reduplicant. I have a feeling that I already discussed this in this class, but I'm just in case, I'm gonna mention it again. So reduplicants, that you take like elements of a word and mirror and like repeat a word with mirroring part of it. This is something that is very happy to move from language to language in language contact. And a famous example of that is the so-called Schme reduplication, which has its origins in Yiddish, but is used in some varieties of English and also some varieties of Russian. Like you might have heard, it's like if you want to say like fancy schmancy is an example of that. Like, oh, this fancy schmancy restaurant. It's basically grammatical means of expressing derision and sarcasm, which I think it's just fantastic that such a thing exists, in my opinion. Like especially the fact that like when I was like I didn't even know that this happened in Russian, but I had I was teaching a class in Munich, and there was a student there from a Russian-speaking family from Israel. And I mentioned this whole strategy, and she said, oh, I actually know this from my grandmother from Odessa. She does this all the time when she speaks Russian. So, and then I looked into it, and it seems to be like especially, it is especially like associated with Odessa, the city in Ukraine that has historically had and still has a strong Jewish presence, and like where there's like a lot of Yiddish speakers. So in that area, like people do it even when they speak Russian. Yeah, so that's the Mari reduplication, and the P reduplication is something that it has its origins in Turkic languages, and this has been borrowed far and wide into languages that have been in contact with Turkic. You can find this, for example, in Tajik, an Iranian language. You can find it in some varieties of Armenian. You can find it in some Mongolic languages, and you can find it in Mari too. And what the P reduplication is that we take an adjective, we take the first syllable, we repeat it, and replace the consonant at the end of the first syllable with a P. And that is then an intensified form. And it's especially, but not exclusively, used with color terms. Yeah, and I think it's Sonia's turn. Do you want to form the 3 emphatic forms of these 3 adjectives?
Shema, black, so pitch black would be ship, shema. Taza, healthy, tap taza. And dinus, quiet, dip, dinus.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Okay, sorry, one moment again. Now it's time to close that window again. Okay, so much for reduplication. The next point is a very minor grammatical point, and that is tudо, the personal pronoun, third person singular, but also the demonstrative pronoun that. If we use it in combination with certain postpositions, we can use tudо in the genitive and in the postposition, like tudendeke, to him, her, them, tudendene, with him, her, them, tudendech, from him or her, them. But we can also form melded forms where we attach just the stem of tudо, cut to tut, with the pronoun. And then we with the postposition. And then we have tudek, tuden, tudech. Just forms to recognize if you encounter them. That's it for the grammatical points. And so we proceed to words and word usage, where we have a few like 2 semantic categories that we're going to look at before we come to my usual spectral constructions stuff. First is getting married, different terms that are used for getting married. The vocabulary that is primarily used for this is quite gendered, and we have different terms used for a woman getting married to a man and a man getting married to a woman. And when it is the woman who is getting married, it is usually something with going to the man. Like Marlan Kayash, like from Marie, husband, it's like to the man with the dative go. Or we have Marlan Lektash, like to go out to the husband. Or Marlan Miash, like to come to the husband, to go to the husband or so. Or Malan Tolash, to come to the husband. Men are in the traditional vocabulary given a more active, or should I say transitive role in this. The men do some taking in these things. It is like Marlan Nalash, to take to the husband, or Udarim Nalash, just to take a girl, or vatem nalash, to take a wife. But if the heteronormative gendered aspect of all this is giving you headaches, do not despair. There are actually gender neutral ways of talking about getting married. And that is mujerangash, mujer being a pair, especially like also a married pair. And this ang was this transitive suffix to become a pair. That is basically, and you can just say two people got married, but they formed a pair. And then we also have ushnash, which is basically like to join, which is also often used just like to join in holy matrimony or something like that. And here
just a quick question: how is malan alash a man getting married to a woman, like it says in the translation? Isn't Mari just husband? Or
yeah, like it is like I would say like here we have Sergei like Sergei took Yelu to the husband, like to himself. It's a bit almost reflexive. It's like if you want to be strictly logical about it, it doesn't really make sense, but like language doesn't owe us to make sense in a strictly logical sense. And yeah. Okay. So next point that I have is an overview of different verbs we have had that have in some context been translated as to go, and which, like what context would prompt us to use one word or the other. And the very first word we discussed on this front was kayash, which I had as to go, but also as to leave at some point, where we had like yochak, is it Yotashish Vlakdenish Golish Kaya. The child is leaving for school with its friend now, or going to school. Yochash Golish Kayem, the child went to school. Mui Arla Moskosh Kayem, I am going to Moscow tomorrow. The underlining is inconsistent here. I should change this in the book too. Yeah, so this was sort of the very basic unidirectional going, but it is not specified by what means of transport I do the going. Like if you say nothing else, the usual people would think on foot, but it could also be by bicycle, by train, by helicopter, or whatever. Especially when we use it in these pairings of as a directional marking. We can even explicitly say like chongeshten kayash, like to fly off, to fly away or so. So this is it's a so-called path verb. It marks the directionality, but it does not mark the means of transport. So then we had koshtash, to go. I go to school at 8 every day. My child already goes to school, as like in general, as principal. Does your child already walk? Does it go already? This is now going and coming back. It's either bidirectional or unidirectional. We are not marking, it's not going from X to Y, but it is going around, or from X to Y and back, or from X to Y and back on a habitual basis or so. And we saw this difference also when using both of these verbs in auxiliary constructions, where they seem like near synonyms in their lexical constructions. In auxiliary constructions, they basically mean the opposite. Because in auxiliary constructions, we strip away the core lexical meaning and just use the aspectual values of something. And on that dimension, they differ completely. Okay, so lektash, to go, to leave. Seems on the surface fairly similar to kayash. The child leaves home at 7 o'clock. It is fairly similar to kayash, but it has the focus on the actual, the start of the journey, the leaving aspect of it. So maybe to make it clearer, I could have translated this one as to leave, to go, but yeah. Then we had miyash. I have complained about this one, that it is a fuzzy one. It's sort of a bit of an annoying one if you're doing Finno-Ugric studies, because it's the one that has the visible cognates in both Finnish and Hungarian. So it's the one that the students will immediately remember. They say, oh, that's like menna or med or whatnot. But then in Mari, it's the one that has the hardest, like for me, it's the hardest to limit its usage. So we have Jocha školiš mija da uroklan jam dlalta štinalesh. Tache vrach deke mienam. I went to the doctors today. So what Timothy Rees and I could find out when like consulting with our native speakers and looking at synonym dictionaries, etc., is that it is basically going somewhere with the focus being on the arrival side of it. So it's like going in the direction of coming. But in contrast to tolash, which you really just translated as to come, it is often sort of implied that you're not there anymore, that you went, that like somebody came but left already. So I really can't judge if this would really hold water. So yeah, if somebody ever decides to write a thesis about verbs of motion in Mari, separated from the whole spectral, the whole content construction stuff that I did, I'm going to bet that Miasha is going to be the one that gives you headaches. Okay, then we have oshkalash. Here we translate this as to walk, to pace, to stride. We have some examples. The child is slowly walking to school. The critical thing, what sets oshkalash apart from all the other ones that we have here, is that all the other ones we looked at before were path verbs, denoting like the directionality of a movement, but leaving it open how the movement is carried out. Oshkalash is a manner verb. It denotes that the movement is carried out on foot, that you're walking, but it does not say anything about the path. So this is the one, if you want to stress that you are going to foot and not riding your bicycle or taking the bus or whatever when you go to school. And if you want to indicate a directionality, you have to pair it with one of the path verbs, like oshkelen, oshkelen lektaship, so like to walk away or something like that. And the last one we have, oh no, it's not the last one yet. Sorry, there are two more. They're ertash, to go, to pass. This one is here, the stress is, if we look at the example, when going to school, the child walks by the post office, goes by the post office, passes the post office. The child walks the way to school in 10 minutes, like managing the whole distance. Well, the critical thing here is the by aspect, or also like within the time frame or something like that. And again, the mode of transport is not specified in these things. And ertashes is also like often used in figurative sense if I like talking about things going by, passing, time goes by, time or whatnot. Yeah. Now for real, the last one that I have is kudalash, kudalam, to go, to drive, to ride. Where we had the children are going to school by bus. When do the Finnish students have to go to Mari? Here, this is again a manner verb rather than a path verb. It just tells us how we are carrying out the action, and the how here is basically anything but on foot. It can be by any mode of transportation, any land-based mode of transportation, be it animate or inanimate. If you're brave enough to ride it, you can use kudalash for it. So it could be by bicycle, by train, by car, by bus, by motorcycle, by horse, or by squirrel. If you are a little fairy and are riding on the back of a squirrel, kudalash would be the verb to use. Okay, any questions about to go before I move on to the auxiliary constructions? Okay, auxiliary constructions, we are going to look at 3 verbs this week. I mean, at this point, you're spoiled because we had our revision last week and we've already seen all the auxiliaries that we are going to be covering. But still, let's have a quick look at what we've got. First one, I have ertarash, to lead, to take. This is it's a causative derivation of this ertash that we were looking at just now. Ertash was going by, and this is like make go by, to carry out, or like to lead somebody by something or whatnot. Okay, so see you, Mikke. When we use this one in an auxiliary construction, my Finnish friend lived in Yoshkaula for a year. We spent 2 hours sitting in line. So these are both, in these examples, we see that ertarash, it is used to indicate that something is long-lasting, but long-lasting with specific delimitations, like for 2 hours, for 3 weeks, for 5 years, or whatnot. That you are spending this amount of time doing a thing, be it hours, be it days. Yeah. Sengash, sengem, to win, to defeat. When we use this one in auxiliary constructions, like tache, erdene, vit, shagatlan, kenyel, sengenam, I literally it is today in the morning at 5 o'clock, I getting up won. I getting up defeated. This means you managed it. You were successful against expectation in this thing, possibly against expectation. Or like, I can't carry such a heavy suitcase. I can't manage to do it. Yeah. Okay, and then miyash, my friend again, to come. If we have like Kochkishlan, Akshe, Kuze, Kuzen, Mia, how the price of food is rising. Pashat, Ushnen, Nije, may your work prosper. Vina, Erken, Peten, Mia, our power is slowly being depleted. It is very similar to Tolash, which we looked at a long time ago, that it is basically showing a gradual but steady increase in the effect of something. Like, okay, maybe the depletion is a bad example because it is like the increase of the decrease here, but I hope you understand what I mean. It's like that we have like the price that it is going up step by step. We're not talking about like one, like an economic collapse when suddenly all the prices shoot up, as might be happening right now. Yeah, this is going to let people date this video possibly when watching in the future, but yeah. Yeah, or like the power that is gradually but steadily being depleted. That's the one function that we have, the spectral function, and then we also have the directional usage. When I say avasham ushin izi echuk vigak tudek kujinien, seeing his mother, little echuk ran right up to her. So this is, if we're using it as a directional marker, it means to some target and stopping there, like up to the tree, the mother, whoever, and then you stop. Yeah, or the dolphins that are swimming up to Petya in this example. So, are there any? Yes, Sandra has a question.
So, would we expect these directional usage of miyash in auxiliary constructions with the what's it called? With the illative?
Yes, either with the illative or with deke too. And I think deke is seems to be more common, what I see like just here on the first examples.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, any other questions? Okay, well then let's get to the text where we are talking about a wedding. Yeah, the order is Valentina, Luan, Sonia, Sandra, Syanishte at the wedding. Valentina can do the first sentence.
Okay. Koçarnyan sapaymet puncherial geç soanish ujmashim nalanit. So last week the Sapayevs were invited to a wedding in Puncherial.
Yeah. Fascinating that the characters are reintroduced at this point in the textbook again.
Yeah.
Okay, then Luan.
So Yelun Shishaksha Mahlan Lektesh, so Yelu's sister marries.
Yeah, it's getting married. Then Sonia.
Sergei Shukatsek Marisi American video sürütüm ıl'e some time ago or a long time ago. Shukatsek, suppose what it means. Sergei wanted to make a video report or documentary about a Mari, or about Mari wedding.
Yep.
In the Shonojem Shuktashin Lekte. Now he gets an opportunity to act on his intention.
The opportunity arose, kind of. Yeah. Okay, then Valentina.
Yeah. Suan Ketchin Yeluden Sergei Yalish Tolenit. So on the day of the wedding, Yalu and Sergei arrived to the village.
Yeah. Then one.
Ude Mogerim Suanlan Chila Yamde. So I guess this is like the family or something of the daughter. Or of the girl, got everything ready for the wedding.
Yeah, it's like from the side of the bride is what they mean here with the girl, like from her side, and that means her family. Yeah, everything is ready. Then Sonja.
Sianum Vashliash Velekoden. So there was only the wedding left to be celebrated.
That's it.
I would say, yeah.
Ketjuva village tumer shuver da moroyuk ulo yalem tarish. At around noon, drums, bagpipes, and loud singing or loud songs filled the whole village with sound.
Suan Kalik Moren Kusten Kudivechish Purish. So the wedding guests singing and dancing entered, I guess, like the yard or the place where the celebration was held.
Okay, Jeremy, before I translate the following sentence, I have a question. Actually, a wedding in Mari, in a Mari village, so in the countryside, it's something the whole village deals with, isn't it?
Yes.
It happens. It doesn't happen only in the two families or in the family, but it's like a matter to celebrate for the whole settlement.
I can give you an example of this. Again, I have a feeling I might have told this in class already, but what the hell? So I mean, the stereotype is that the further to the east you go, the more extravagant and big the weddings get. And in 2014, when we were in Bashkortostan, me and a group of students, we were visiting some family when we heard when somebody heard like a horn being blown of a car. And at first the foreigners, we didn't know what was happening. We saw, there's like a wedding procession. And I already knew that from especially from Estonia, that this is like an all Russian custom. And I mean, not just Russians, it's other countries do this too, that wedding processions blow their horns. It's just something that's very alien to me, because in Vienna, it is literally illegal to blow your horn if you're not in a dangerous situation. In any case, so it was okay. It's a wedding procession. And then there was like immediately the whole family that we were visiting, everybody was called out into the courtyard. And when this wedding procession came in by the car, they jumped in front of the car and stopped it and got everybody to come out of the cars and start singing and dancing and drinking with them. And we at first thought that maybe all these, did they know that this wedding procession was coming? But no, these are complete strangers. But it's just, this is what the local customs dictate, that if you see a wedding procession happening, you celebrate with them. Even if they are complete strangers. And it was fascinating just to see the different reactions to this incident. That we had a guy from Hamburg in our group who saw this all happening, and he just looked and said, ach nein. It's like, oh no. And then there are these two Finnish girls, and they were just looking like, what is happening? And Mika was there too, and she just looked at this and was like, Alter, den haben sie einfach nur ins Hirn geschissen. Just like Viennese German for, oh God, somebody just shit in their brains. It's like, just like, oh God, how can this be what is done? But that is what is done. So yeah, weddings are a big deal. I forgot whose turn it is.
My turn, because I asked the question first. And no, sorry. And I just got the impression that it's not only like a business for one family.
Yeah.
And sean vatevlaken chinche natur dene surastareme motor porque mast chincham kondara. Just check what's chinche. So it's like the
I'm not sure how it's translated in the textbook, but it's like castles and stuff like that.
So they kind of like not decorated, but the people, the wedding folk, or the people at the wedding. Yeah, so they are like beautifully dressed up, or I don't know. This chinche. It's related to something that like sparkly.
Yeah, it's like I'm just checking what we say in the textbook, but I can tell you what it actually is.
Or something like that.
We say spangles, tinsels, sparkles. But what it very often is, and this is something that you also have this in some parts in the Baltic regions. People do this too, is coins.
It's like lower.
Yeah, that like especially like and it's like it's fascinating sometimes to see like they're all homemade, and you can sometimes see if you have like a younger, like a somewhat a younger woman, she would have like kopecks from the Russian Federation time or whatnot, but then like an older women would have like very Soviet kopek coins and such. Yeah.
So they have these coin-based decorations and embroidery. So they are decorated with that, and and the beautiful, and this beautiful decoration on clothes is pleasing for the eyes.
Yeah, it brings joy to the eye or whatnot. Yeah. Okay, then yeah, Sandra.
Okay, üreren acha vaje suyan unam işte kopulaş ücret nunim selat. The parents of the bride wait, what was it? Invite the wedding guests to the tables and entertain them with drink and food.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Udirat suan kalikim puradene shuna. Also, the bride offers kvass to the wedding guests.
Then Luan.
Sorry, I lost the line. Where are we?
There's Suan Kujujap.
Oh, okay. So Suan Kujujap Shuina. So the wedding goes on for a long time.
Right, then Sonia.
Suan Peter Mashish ideren achas den avaje sam reklaklan suganem puat tazapoyan kuju imran liza. Shall I continue or shall I leave it for someone else? I mean, I can
maybe
continue.
do it this much and then the next one will go to Sandra.
So when the wedding is ending, the parents of the bride give the couple a blessing. So may you be healthy, rich, and may you have a long life.
Yeah. And just about Sugen, it's like blessing, will, but another important usage of this is like testament in the biblical sense. That like the New Testament is Sugen and the Old Testament is Toshto Sugen. Right, then Sandra.
Isiraktic Lutza Kuraktic Voshilza. May be afraid of very little. And that sounded a bit weird, like
Yes.
be ashamed of a lot.
Yeah, like or like show shame in front of the biggers, the big things or so. And like I mean,
like be humble, basically.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, but I mean, this is the kind of thing that is, it's like the formulaic thing, like how like in English you to wish somebody wish somebody luck, you say break a leg or something like that, or in German say Hals- und Beinbruch. It's like an absurd thing to say, but it's just something that people say in a given situation. Yeah, and the next one, Valentina.
Yeah. Indesh ergan shim udiran leza.
Yeah.
So may you have 9 sons and 7 daughters.
Yep, better you than me, whoever's saying this. And
yeah, I was just thinking about the poor wife. Oh my God, that's not a very good wish to make.
Yep. Then Luan.
Kinder Shinchardal Perkanliche, so may your like bread and salt be plenty.
Yeah, and about bread and salt, this is something taken from Russians that I'm not sure if you're familiar with the custom of welcoming people with bread and salt, that it's often like it's a part of like hospitality culture, that if guests come in, you give them some bread and some salt. So it has this sort of an important function in hospitality. Okay, then Sonia.
This one I was not quite sure about. Užarala volgalt ilza. So like may or you live is ilza, it's ilash, and volgaltash, it's shine, and Ijarala, it's a plural form of like dawns, mornings.
Not plural form. I mean, it could have been, but here it is the comparative. Like.
So so like bright as mornings or bright as dawns.
Volgalt, it's a verb actually. It's like volgaltash. It's to shine.
Shine like mornings, and you're like, it's sorry, it's just that I don't know how to put it together.
Yeah, no problem, no worries. So it's ilash, to live. Ilaza is live, but ilash we've also seen as like, I mean, it can be also an spectral modifier. But here it is like volgaltash, to shine. This is the short form of the converb, volgalten, but as we learned in the first conjugation, you can skip the in. And so it's imperative, second person plural. Shining, live, or just shine like the morning dawn. Like live a life in which you shine you're radiant like dawn. So.
Actually, I understood that it's a converb, but it kind of like didn't make any sense to me. So yeah. Thank you. And I have also, Jeremy, I have one more question, and it's about the word ijara. I just, when I was looking at the vocabulary list, I found out that it refers to the time at dawn and also at dusk. So does that describe like the period of, or the daytime when there is little light, or like not?
Yeah, well, basically
Like the change or transition between
the transition period, and ujara can be either. And if you want to say just either dusk or either dawn or dusk, you have to specify which one. It's actually like German works the same way, that you have like Dämmerung and you have to say Morgendämmerung, Abenddämmerung to say which one. So it's like the morning transition period, the evening transition period.
Okay, thank you.
Right, then Sandra.
Judas to sujan pitimeke, ulo sujan kalikachin yalishkij kaya. When the wedding finishes at the bride's place, the whole wedding party moves on to the village of the bridegroom, and that is probably where you stop people on the way.
Yep, exactly. And if this all sounds like an introvert's nightmare, yes. Valentina.
Tushtat suan umbakije shuina. So there too, the wedding continues.
Yep. Luan.
Tümese şüvese flak siran kalekim moriktat kustiktat. So the drummers and pipers make the wedding party sing and dance.
Then Sonia.
Kače surtashto uder tuden rodashlan kumaltashim opta. So the bridegroom gets at his, it's like at his house I wonder how this is connected. So it's like Kumaltash. So he gets a kind of like a prayer.
Yeah, it's more like lays down a prayer, which I would just read as like reads a prayer, but it's not he. It's
the girl, and
the girl.
She reads that for his relatives and her future relatives, actually.
Yeah, like his family, or so in the husband's house. Right, then Sandra.
Sergei sujanem videokamer dene vozish. Sergei recorded the wedding with his camera.
Okay. Tači se suan motatuke tošto suan juladech oirte maltesh. So modern weddings, or there is no doubt that modern weddings differ from the ones in the old days.
Then Luan.
Syan julam küsit uushablan kelistaren yatarat. So I guess this was the sentence I didn't really get. So it's like that the wedding traditions have, I don't know, like adjusted to the present time or something.
Yeah. That the wedding customs are today carried out like adjusted to the modern days or so. You don't do everything as you used to. They're carried out with some adaptations. Okay, then Sonia.
Sonia gets another sentence where she is lost. To sian Jolanske oyertymże ulmash. So the customs of old wedding themselves, like
careful, ske can also be, it can also be a possessive marker, like own, we had it.
So like they differ in between themselves.
Basically, yeah, sort of. It's like toshto syan yulan, ske oitemje ulmash. So toshto syan yula is like
have their own differences.
They had their own like peculiar aspects or so.
Thank you.
Yeah. Then Sandra?
Mutlan Suyanishte Kart Kurgiza Lian. For example, there was a elder priest at the wedding.
Yep. Then
Тудо Yomodich Samirik Yeshlan Pialim Kumal Yodin. So he prayed to God for happiness for the young family.
Then Kashne Yang Sianishke Roshim Sayan Palen Kumogai Semen Shoktishash Mogai Murim Morishash. So every person like knew their own role at the wedding good, like well, who had to play which tune and who had to like sing which song.
Right. And now Sonia gets a bit of a longer sentence.
Seani lasamrik mužurem pora kornash Victoren dasai koyashlan tunekten roda tukamam pagalash ikteveseden kilshin ilash. Yeah. It's like the wedding habits directed the couple, or they provided the couple with a good way.
Yeah, they led the young couple onto the path of good, like a good path.
And a good and they kind of like they ordered that the wedding customs taught them good respect.
Yeah, they taught them good customs or good habits.
Good customs. So to show respect for the relatives, I would say, or for the not only relatives but like the whole family, the large family, and to live or to get on with each other well, to treat each other well, maybe.
Yeah. So to live in harmony with one another. There's like those of you that know some Russian, you might know this phrase. There's a phrase in Russian that's associated with the Soviet era cartoon. I think it's called Leopold. There's the cat Leopold, who's always in telling the kids or so to be nice to one another. And what is I want to make sure I don't get it wrong, but it's something like the cat always says, "Ребята, давайте живем дружно," or something like, "Hey, children, let's live in harmony." And it's sort of like almost a meme in the post-Soviet world there. He remembers this cat that's like, I don't know, stuff is happening, like nuclear war is about to break out, and you think of this cat saying, "Kids, let's live in harmony," or so. Oh, that seems uncomfortably fitting right now. Okay. So that's it with the text. Are there any questions at this point? Okay, so I'm going to be pausing the recording. Next week, we're going to be looking at some exercise. Oh, Sandra?
Let's do the colic mood.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Sandra still does the colic mood, yeah?
Syan ertemeke tümerim oget kere. So after the wedding is over,
Yeah,
the drums may not be beaten.
yeah. Like you don't beat the drums anymore after the wedding is over. It seems wise. I can't think of a good counterpart of this. Like, I'm not sure if it is maybe like closing the door, the barnyard door after the cows have escaped or something like that. Like if you're just showing that there are certain things you have to do in time. Yeah. Okay. But next week we're going to be looking at, we're going to have some exercises. We are also going to be watching a YouTube clip and reading the text where we have an interview with like the granny out in the countryside who speaks Mari a bit different than what we have been accustomed to. This is not necessarily like the sanitized journalistic language that we had in other interviews, which is an interesting experience hearing that and reading it. Okay, but that is next week. Also, there is a song of the week again, which is again one of like my personal classics in the sense that it was a song that I liked to listen to when I was studying Mari back in 2007. And a few days ago, was it Natalia Venin, I think was her name, the Mari language teacher with the awesome YouTube channel. She uploaded a version where you have the lyrics on screen that you can read along. And so it's a song I actually really like, and the lyrics also have some cool grammar. Okay, so I'm going to stop the recording for now. Once I find the button. Welcome back. We are now going to look at some exercises for chapter 36, and because there are quite a few exercises, we are going to be skipping over some of them. Like the first one, rewriting the following sentences in all persons. I'm going to skip over that one. This is basically just paradigm revision, something we could do again at some point, but not right now. So Mayat tide knigam na nem ille, I too would have bought this book. Mayat kinosh inem kai ille, I too would not have gone, or like did not want to go, sorry. Mayat osangish kai shash ilem, I too had to go to Kazan. I didn't have to go anywhere yesterday. So now we have translating some sentences into English, and we start with Luan.
Okay, so ICM Golden Village Ensemble Kostam Ilya. So when I was little, I like went or like used to attended the village ensemble.
Then Sandra.
Pashashtilimem godem ergim futbola modesh ulmash amije shonenam tudо ertak tunemesh. When I was at work, my son played football. Okay, but I thought he would always study.
Yeah, exactly. Like studying.
So to my own surprise, my son played football. But
exactly, thus the ulmаш, because I was not observing it. Okay, Sonia.
Dolmesh, that on church Vasily Milam Gokana Ingatan ыл'е. So Vasily called me 2 times after.
Before?
Sorry, on church, yes. I'm thinking about the form of Dolmesh Dech. So like after my coming, so like since I got here, Vasily called me twice. No.
Okay, so Dech Onchich is a compound postposition meaning before.
Okay.
And Tolmesh, what is Tolmesh?
It's related to Vasily. So after Vasily, after his arrival, or
before.
Sorry, before his arrival.
Exactly.
Vasily called me twice. Sorry. And thank you for your help.
Yeah. So Tolmesh, it is the passive participle being used as a verbal noun from Tolash, Tolmo, and then possessive suffix third person singular, because it's Vasily himself who came. Right. Then Valentina.
Varavele ujinam miklai milam kok electron sereshim kolten ulmаш. Only later I noticed that Miklai had sent me 2 emails.
Yep. Then back to Luan.
Exkursisch inet kaigen onda kalasiman ilya. So if you don't want to go to the excursion, you should have told someone or should have said this earlier.
Exactly. Then Sandra.
Tida kampetim na man ogil ulmаш nimenyarat tam ogil. He, she, they should not have taken this candy. It is not tasty at all.
Yeah, it could also be I, because it's not specified, like shouldn't have bought this candy or so.
I thought like taken from a bowl or something.
Yeah, could in theory be, but I would guess that it's buying here, but yeah, depends on context. Like if you were actually sitting at the bowl and you had just taken one out and then you say it, then it would be referring to the taking. But yeah,
with the buying it, the disappointment would be even bigger.
Yeah, exactly. Then Sonia.
Ivan izikotsek vreč lijeneže ыл'е школштат шарным биологием enchot yuraten. Ivan wanted to be a doctor, I would say, since his childhood or since he was small. Is it like izigotsak? Yeah.
Yep.
And also at school, I remember Sharnash.
Exactly.
He loved like his favorite or most favorite subject was biology. He loved biology most.
Exactly. Yeah. So for Easy Gotsek, remember that from Yuresh. We have that in there. Right, then Valentina.
So not long ago, I read in the newspaper that you used to be a clown. Was it a joke?
Used to be Lineda.
But isn't it the compound past tense too?
No, be careful.
Ulmаш?
That would be Lienda.
Okay, then I'm not sure.
I'm showing you the segmentation.
Yeah. Okay, it's you wanted. Okay, it's
exactly.
Is it a desertive? Yeah. Okay, thank you. So you wanted to become a clown.
was it a joke? Or was
Exactly.
it like, yeah.
Yep, that's it. Okay, then Luan.
Which minute on should tudо esce vesela ыл'e kisit shortish. So 5 minutes ago he should was still happy, but now he should is crying.
Exactly. And then
Okay, Vitle I onchich tishte school mash. 50 years ago, there used to be a school here.
Okay, so now another set of sentences, but now we actually want to put them in the first past tense and also translate them. And we start with Sonia.
Shutman ikim shagana upashashke lekshash ulam, and the first past tense would be pashashke lekshash shem.
No, lekshash, ıl'e.
Ыл'e. Okay.
Il'e. Or in theory, you could also say ulam ıl'e, but yeah. Okay, then Valentina. Sorry, translation.
Sorry, yeah. Not quite sure about the translation. It's like the first time I have to go to work, and I'm not quite sure about Shochman. Shochmo Kacha, it's birthday.
Yeah, but Shochmo on its own can also be.
So it's Monday.
Yes.
Yeah, so on Monday I was also thinking about this like very prosaic or realistic translation, but then I thought, well, like on Monday, then, well, everyone goes to work usually, even to new work. So on Monday I have to go to my new job the first time.
Yeah, exactly. So then Valentina.
Ti sportsmen olympiadisch kodalshach ogil or kodalshach ogil ıl'e. So this athlete does not need to run at the Olympics.
Yeah, it's a bit weird to run to the Olympics or so, but I'm not entirely sure if this is like figuratively meaning that like to participate or so.
Participate does not need to participate, maybe.
Would be my guess, but I'm not sure. Yeah, then Luan.
So Vaške šoljem dech seriš tolšaš, and in the like past tense it's Vaške šoljem dech seriš tolšaš ıl'e. So the letter from my younger brother like had to arrive soon.
Yeah, like should have arrived soon, something like that. Right, then Sandra.
Kelmenatken justem jushash otil. But I'm kind of having trouble to understand this, so I'm not sure which parts to put in the past tense. So if you want to freeze,
if there's no wanting here, this is like this. There's no
if you froze.
Yeah, and so like if you froze, this could also mean like if you're cold now because you froze before. Like if you've gotten cold.
You shouldn't have drank something cold.
Exactly.
Okay. I got confused with two different uses, which are not the same.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll temporarily put in the morpheme boundaries.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the past tense would be? You only have to put the second.
But I only need to put the second in the past tense,
Yeah,
right?
yes, yes.
Ah,
The
okay,
first
good.
one already is. Mhm.
So that would be coming at again. Justum Jusas Otil ille.
ыл'e. Exactly.
Sounded sorry.
Yeah. Okay, then Sonia.
Examenlançılan alışaş ıl'e. Just thinking what balash is. Yeah, it's to know. Yeah. So you had to know, or you should have known everything for the. You were like shaking your head, so I'm not sure. Like,
Oh, sorry, no, that's right. It's correct.
Okay. Yeah, so you should have known everything for the exam.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how the
ıl'e. Balışaş ıl'e.
No, sorry, I'm I gave an affirmative answer too quickly. I think we need to review the paradigms at some point again. So to be in the first past tense, it was ıl'e, and the second person was then ıl'e. That we had this irregular ch ending there. So for ıl'e, the past, ıl'e. Sorry, I'm completely confused. It's ıl'e. You were right. Never mind.
It's just that I pronounced it incorrectly. It should have been like I meant ıl'e, but I probably said ıl'e.
Yeah, but I think
Instead of
I got mixed up in which person we are. But yeah.
But thank you for correcting me.
Yeah, even though I was not correct. Okay, then Valentina.
Okay. Vanya din Katja kunam vashlishash ulit or vashlishash ulit ille. So when should Vanya and Katja meet?
Yeah,
Or should have met?
Yeah, exactly. So ulit ıl'e works. You could also in theory say ıl'e. For just you can either put the to be form in the past tense morphologically, or you use ıl'e as a particle afterwards. Both is fine. Okay, then Luan.
So expedition Shaplan Kayashash Olat, or like then in the past tense it's Kayashash Ilyich. And so at what time did you have to go to the expedition?
Right, then Sandra.
Tidmenan Pashanat Inimat Ishtishash Odal, and in the past tense it would then be Ishtishash Odal Ilya. This is our work. You didn't do any of it.
Didn't do anything, or Ishtishash?
Wait. You don't need to do any of it? No.
You didn't need to do any of it, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Because this is the future necessitative participle. Okay, then Sonia.
Mariame urotlan kunla u motum tunamshash ulana. We had to learn 60. Sorry, 30.
Yes.
Sorry. We had to learn 30 new words for the lesson of Mari language.
And so was it ıl'e?
Yeah, sorry, and again I forgot the ıl'e.
Yeah, tunamshash ıl'e. Okay, then last one, Valentina.
Nuno iktebesim ushash ogitel or ushash ogitel ıl'e. So they don't or they didn't need to see each other.
Very right, very great. Very good, I meant. Okay, so next one, I think I'm going to skip over it. This is again just playing with the morphology a bit, putting the singular forms into the plural forms. But this one we can do, where we have something stated as a statement that you couldn't do something or you didn't do something, but we want to hear now, I wanted to, but I couldn't, or so. And we start with Luan.
Okay, so the first sentence would then become Echan Kechival Marta Pashashim Pitarinesha Ilya no Ish Pashashim Ish Pitara.
Exactly. So exactly like that. Then Sandra.
Iuchavlak uda igechi lan kura churarash kayen istkert. What was igechi again?
Weather.
Okay. So the so Iuchavlak churarash Churarash Kai. No.
Churarash Kai.
Kai no.
Kainesht.
Kainesht. Kainesht.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Kainesht ıl'e. Yeah.
Kainesht ıl'e. No. İgeçilen kıra kayen Shitchkert?
No, Üstkert. That can stay the same.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. No problem. Okay, then Sonja.
Arveze shonemajim shukten shkert. And I have forgotten what shuktash is. Is it like just tent or
To carry out, basically.
to carry out? And shonemo, it's like the idea or something like that. Yeah. Okay. Arveze shonemajim shukteneže, no
Shukteneže ıl'e.
shukteneže ıl'e, no shukten üstkert. So like, I don't know, the young boy wanted to carry out his or her idea but couldn't.
Yeah, exactly. Right, then Valentina.
Okay, so Verush modishim pogenalash monden. So Verush forgot to take her toy.
Yeah, or to collect them.
Collect her toys. So I think it would be Verush modishim pogen naneje ilai no tudо monden.
Yeah, exactly. And then Luan, the last one.
Student Diplom Basham Vosaneje Ilya no Diplom Basham Vosan Ish Pitara. So the student wanted to finish their diploma, they finish writing their diploma thesis, but didn't.
Very good. Okay, then number 6, it's just a little dialogue to read and translate one line a person, and we start with Sandra.
Echante melanem knigam kondinet Ilya kondishechmo. Echan, you wanted to bring me the book, did you? Bring it?
Yeah. Then Sonja.
Yamdalan pashtanamala da kundash mundashim. I think like I will start with the last part. I forgot to bring it.
Yeah.
And it's like I got it ready.
Yeah, that's it.
Yamdalan, and I don't know how to like put it together with this pashtanam ыл'e.
I mean, this could be a spectral, like literally it is preparing placed. It's like I got it ready or so.
Okay. Yeah,
And I mean,
but
I
I've
would
forgotten.
read it as like I preparing it and I put it out or so to take it in. But then I forgot.
Okay.
Okay, then Valentina.
To gegin erla kondash itmondo. So don't forget to bring it tomorrow.
And very challenging one for Luan.
Yara, okay.
Yep, very good. Okay, next one. It's a bit silly, but I think we can do it. Just matching up the questions with a suitable answer that is not too Dadaist. And we'll start with Sandra.
Okay, so diplom pasham kunam katerish pueman ulmash. When I really need to repeat the repetition on those recessive things.
So here we have pua man, and you remember what the man ending is.
That is the necessitive ending, isn't it?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. I just don't know how to put it in the past right now for some silly reason.
You don't have to. It is already.
Yeah, but in English.
Okay. So when kunam, did one have to give or hand in diplom pasham, the diploma, like the diploma thesis, cathedrisch at the
department, yeah, sorry.
Yep.
Forgot. And now I have to find probably no B.
That is exactly correct.
So ik arnia on chak kulesh ile no kezetat leish shonem. A week ago, you didn't need to, but now you do, I think.
Yeah, almost. So the first part is 1 week ago, kulesh ıl'e, it was needed. No, but kezetat liesh, also now one can. Also now it is possible.
So okay, so the deadline was last week, but
the deadline was last week, but they'll probably still take it. Is what?
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for the help.
Yeah. Then Sonia is up next.
Sandra, don't worry. I have these feelings every time it's my turn. And Jeremy has survived every time, which is great. Tace instituters menjar shagatlan tulman ыл'e. Today, what time was it necessary to get to university? Yeah. And now I need a sentence where there is time. I would say E.
That's it.
Jo, laat koketat pelelan no shuken varashko dönet. And now it will take me ages to translate it. 12, like 11:30. Yeah.
No.
No, 12:30.
12:30, exactly.
12:30. But oh, I mean, like I'm looking at the vocabulary explained, but it doesn't make much sense. Like in large numbers, no, sorry, it's something about being late, but doesn't make much sense to me.
So in large numbers, they were late. It just means many people were late.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we are talking about like the past. So it's a kind of like, it was that time, but many people were late. Anyway, probably. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So then Valentina.
Okay. Tengece kastene mom ishtiman ulmаш. So what needed to be done yesterday evening? And I guess it's A. Šūkimištaškulesh ыл'e koncertše vet vaškelieš umorim mutlantunemina vurgemim urgena da tulečmo. So a lot of things needed to be done. After all, the concert is taking place soon. For example, learn or study new songs, prepare, I guess, dresses or clothing and other things.
Yeah, those are all the things we did. Then Luan gets the minimum challenge one.
So Tilanda adena minjarilan kunjelman ıl'e. So at what time did you have to get up in the morning? And the answer is D. Yushkunam kuritlan yushkunam shimit marte malash liesh ıl'e. So sometimes at 6, sometimes it was also possible to sleep until 7.
How liberal, sleeping all the time, all the way to 7 o'clock. Okay, then Sandra.
Unavlaken kuzo antuman ulmаш. So how did one need to look after the guests?
Exactly.
Okay, so very Tomeshkist pertem erikteman ıl'e tamle chesim yemleman ıl'e da nunem porin başlayan perlia veselan japim ertareman ıl'e. So before their arrival, the house needed to be cleaned. Some tasty refreshments needed to be prepared, and what is pouring?
It's from poro, good. So it's like just as an adverb, like, and here I would like in this context translate them as warmly or so.
And
If this looks
is that like a actual participle?
a converb, yes. Read it as a gerund or a converb, not as
it's like and welcoming them warmly together. What was we a married together a married time was spent
or
needed to be spent.
Yeah, one literally one had to together, one had to spend time merrily or so. Okay, but that was perfect otherwise. Okay, number 8, I think I am going to skip this now, but I guess past tense forms of, we should do a full paradigm revision at some point in the future, like in chapter 40 or so, where we then also have the past tense forms of all the constructions and whatnot. And I'm also going to skip over the translate into Mari one, and also no, I think we can do this one, Ivan. So here we have the template is Ivan Pashajam Nulshagatlan Pitaren. Ivan finished his work by 4 o'clock, and this becomes Ivan Pashajam Nulshagatlan Pitareshash Ulmash. Ivan should have finished his work by 4. Okay, and we start with Sonia.
Vashkashash Ulena. Oh, sorry, I got lost. Kotsho Arnashte Stapan Ergeshtich Sersh.
The first one. Sorry.
Sorry.
No problem.
Yelun Shijarshe Mim Suanish Ujen. Yelu Shijar. It's like if Shijar is family member, but I don't know which one.
Younger sister.
Yelu's younger sister invited me to the wedding, and the following, or the after the transformation, Yelun Shijarje min Suanish Uje Shash Ulmash.
Yeah, like should have invited me to the wedding.
Yeah.
Right, then Valentina.
Kocho Arnyaste Stapan Ergishdech Serishim Nalin. So last week, Stepan received a letter from his son, and necessary version Kocho Arnyaste Stepan Ergishdech Nalshash. I'm sorry, Serishim Nalshash Ulmash. So should have received a letter from his son.
Right. Then Luan.
No, Shumat Cage in Poland, they came on Saturday, and then in the necessitive version, no, Shumat Cage in Tolshash Olmash, they should have come on Saturday.
And Poginemash, Ikshagat Gitch Pitish. The meeting finished after 1 hour. And Poginemash is Ikshagat Gitch Pitishash Olmash. The meeting should have finished after 1 hour.
Exactly. Then Sonia.
Savush Sean Kalakam Murkten da Kushtekten. So the best man made the wedding party or the guests' wedding, the wedding guests sing and dance.
Mhm.
And then the necessity for savus siam galakam morak tashash da kushtak tashash ulmash.
Yeah, so I should have. Just a note, this translation is a bit simplistic for savush, that it's like the closest analog we could come up with, but the savush's duty are much wider than that of the best man, and the savush is way more obnoxious than the best man usually. Okay, so now we should mix and match again, and we will start with Valentina.
Okay. Me vashkishash ilna ukegin, I think it's D. Samoletish barashkodin kertina ыл'е. So we had to hurry, otherwise we would have missed the plane, I guess.
Right, then Luan.
Me serishim poishash ilium sadlan pashadech bara ishe pochtish purishim. So I had to like give or like send or whatever a letter. So I went to the post office, like or still went to the post office after work.
Exactly. Then Sandra.
This semester tunum shash ilda vet kum keçish de which examen nim statlishash ulida. This semester you should study a lot. What was that again? I would
like
read it as because here.
It's this paragraph from Russian vet. It's like German doch, sort of for, like, I mean, after all, you blah blah blah blah blah.
Since you have to pass 5 exams in 3 days.
Yeah. So it's like you have to study all semester because it's too much for studying than just an exam period, is what they're saying. Okay, then Sonia.
The tengeche biletem nalshash ulchech dache teatershkayash kuturen kalshishna. So you should have bought the theater tickets or the tickets for the theater. We have agreed to go to the theater today.
Right, then Valentina gets the no challenge one.
Okay. Yeltashem dene kut shagatlan shketan teatre onchino vashlishash ilna no tudo ishto. So we were supposed to meet with a friend at 6 o'clock in front of the Shketan Theater, but they didn't come.
Exactly. Okay, so now we have a short text to read. Wait, let's put a page break here. And we'll start with Luan.
So yelu aida kuganan Mari kasish kayana. So yelu let us go to the Mari evening on Friday.
Beshkaimen kayenem ıl'e da ochenye kert. I really wanted to go, and what is ochenye again?
Probably.
And probably but probably I can't.
Then Sonia.
Amal Shumugai, for what reason, or what is the reason you can't go?
Yeah, need an explanation then, Valentina.
Shushash arniaste shujareme marlankaya amishe polokimat nalin shukten omel. Mom nalashat ompale ala kangashim puen kertat. So next week my sister is getting married and I haven't managed to buy a present. I don't know what to buy. Maybe you can give me some advice.
Yep. Then Luan.
So sian pelegim nalash kushterdeshak ogel vet tudo imereshlan shanash kochash yusho yengshe kisit peleg olmesh oksam vile kuchik tempoa melanem gintigai goyish okelshe. So like buying a wedding present is not easy. Wait, you have wait, so no. Wait a moment. So like I guess tudo is like the bride or something, or
no,
or is it the present?
It's the present. Yeah, it says it.
So it should be remembered or should stay in mind like for the whole life or forever.
Yeah.
Then some people nowadays only hand over or give only money instead of a present. But as for me, I don't like this custom.
Exactly. Very good. And then Sandra?
Mia tigaksonem. I feel just like that.
Yeah. Okay, great. Number 13, I think we are going to skip. Number 14 is a quick wedding invitation, new genre, so maybe we can do that. Sonia? And like everybody does one line, even though now Sonia's line is not very difficult.
Sherga kan Luda, then Sasha. So dear, is it like Lydia or
Luda? I think it's from Ludmila, but we can just translate it as Luda.
And Sasha.
Then Valentina?
Metilanda Suanna Nergen Uvertarena. We would like to inform you we're getting married.
Then Luan?
Sian lat nelimshe Yonishto lat kandash shagadlan ona restaurantste erdaraltesh. So the wedding takes place on the 14th of June at 18 o'clock in the Ona, so giant restaurant.
Parallel Ujana, welcome. Be welcome, probably.
Yeah. Wäre then Valerie, sorry. And then we have a response, and Sonia gets the easy line again.
It's nice to get easy lines now and then. Also a break for you, I think. Sherga kan Vera, then Valerie, dear Vera and Valerie.
Okay. Then metendam alal kumelinsuan kichida dene salam lana da pialin kuju umerem tazalekim tilanana. So we kind of congratulate you from the bottom of our hearts on your wedding, and wish you, I guess that was happiness, wealth, and good health.
Very good. Now Luan gets the threat again.
In Dash Ergan Shim Uderan Lisa, so may you have 9 sons and 7 daughters.
Yep. Skip. Sandra?
Ja, ik de osalem. Just ik, sorry. Nille ik osalem toshkalen nille ik porim ishteza.
Okay, this is
yeah, I mean, it's probably some wedding ceremony thing that they do or used to do. So stepping on 41 evils, you will create 41 good things.
But ishteza, what is ishteza morphologically?
It's an imperative to create.
Yeah. So if you step on 41 evil things, do 41 good things, like encounter every evil that you encounter with good. Then Sonja.
Ik te vesem jeraten ijarala volgalt iluza. Like loving each other. And it was in the text we discussed last week, and I have forgotten. It's iluza, it's again imperative, it's from elash, so like live. And I don't remember what is vogaltash or vogalt, and
okay.
what is jaralash. So
Vogaltash is to shine, and Ijara is dusk or dawn.
the what?
Dusk or dawn.
Yeah, we discussed that. So just live a bright life, or like inspiring life, bright life for the others.
Yeah, so live loving each other and shining bright like dawn, sort of something like that. Okay, Luda, then Sasha. The next one, now it's going to get a bit heteronormative. We are, and some very overly traditional gender roles coming in. So we have matchmaking, we have dating profiles, and we should find the fitting person for one another. And obviously this is going to be non-deterministic, and obviously if you don't want to be so heteronormative, you can also match one of the numbers with each other, the letters with one another. But yeah, we can see, let's say everybody do one of the profiles, and we'll start with Valentina.
Okay. So мы колошим iash шкет удирamash ulam. Kukshitem shudo shimle centimetre. Kapkelem viash yashkata. Kolk yocham ulo. Yalishte ilem shkepacherem ulo. Muin seminak shketin orlanishte per yengim bashliash shonem. So I'm a 27-year-old, a single woman, I guess. I'm 1.70 meters tall, and here was like that I'm kind of slender. I have 2 children, and I live in the village where I have my own apartment. And here I think it said that she's divorced, I guess, or
It's not specifically said, but
yeah, that she suffered this is Orlanish to struggle.
Yeah.
And she's basically looking to meet a guy, and it says that she has suffered.
Yeah, no, she's looking for a guy, and this is modifying what kind of guy?
Similar to her, means
Who
similar.
is struggling on his own, like, or just like making
Šketino Orlanish. Okay, so that this person also wants to look for
yeah,
somebody. Okay, I get
somebody
it.
who, like me, is struggling through life
To
on
find
his
some,
own.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Luan has dropped out, so hopefully they'll return, but for now we can say Sandra can do the next one then.
Okay. Minanem nille kok-i shele malgerak motor churnyan ulam kapem bish kurak ogil marlan shuke tak lektinam no oir lenam musikem bish yuratem yengim pagalish puru vesela ure ramash ulam shukertsek ilish yultashem vashliash shonen ilem vuchem vashmutem. I am 40 years old. I have wait, what was Churnya?
Churi.
Churian. Face. Yes. Does she have a blackish face?
Yeah, it's strange, but that's what it is being said.
Okay, I have a pretty and blackish face. I am. My body is not very big, so she's like petite, I guess.
And I mean, here we can see the people in Russia, even in dating announcements, they really like their numbers and their facts and figures.
Yeah.
So like milking cows and girls.
Yeah.
She was married before, but they broke up.
Yeah, like I got married long ago, but I'm divorced.
Okay. I really like music.
Pagalash is to respect, to honor.
Okay, I am a so I am I respect people, and I'm a good and merry I mean, there's definitely Uder in there, but
like an Uder, just a bit older.
Yeah. Young at heart person, I guess.
Yeah, not just a woman, basically. A woman. It's Uder.
A woman. Okay. Shuketsek inish yiltashem vashliash shonen ilem. I'm pondering I've pondered for a long time to meet a partner, I guess.
Yeah, like I've been thinking about meeting a partner for a long time.
I've been thinking about meeting a companion for a long time. I'm waiting for your answer.
Yeah. Very good. This whole thing, this is all modifying, like all of this is modifying the woman. I am a woman who respects people, who is kind and merry. Okay.
Yeah, I did get that, but I didn't know what to do with ulamash. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so Luan is back and can maybe do the next one then, if that works.
Okay. Oh, so okay. Me with nila indeshne yash shket udaramash olam. So I am a 49-year-old single woman. Kukshitem with oh my God.
Schudewittler.
Oh, thanks. Schudewittler centimeter with capculum viage. So my height is 150 centimeter, and my what was this body or some my stature is slender or tall. Pesh motoshak omel. So I am not very beautiful.
What the hell? Okay. Yeah.
Basham Firma Osanlikiste Stem. So I work at like farm enterprise or
Yeah.
then Ilash Verem Ulo no Sketin Jöse. So I have a place where I live, but it's hard alone. Then Mülane mat ilish yoltash lektish manen ushanen kodam. So so like in order to wait like no,
not really in order.
Yeah.
It's,
what?
It's more like just that.
Oh, so wait, I probably start at the back.
Exactly.
So I like believe, or I hope that like I don't know, probably Elish Yoltash, is that something like a lifelong friend, or I don't know.
A partner, like a romantic partner.
Okay, so a romantic partner comes to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm guessing she doesn't work in marketing. So then Sandra. Oh, sorry. No, we already, I forgot we did the switch.
I can do it, I think, yeah.
No, I think Sonia is actually, I think Sonia's turn.
Yeah, I can do a half, and then Valentina can do the second half if she wants to. I just wanted to, yeah, let's work for you, Jeremy. I just wanted to say that actually these old-fashioned announcements are much more romantic than Tinder nowadays. It's kind of like, I don't know if you remember the old announcements, like in the age of paper like newspapers. So it was far more, I mean, like saying I'm not very beautiful or I have a place to live. It's far more like business-like than, you know, but still quite romantic. Okay. Mia dialet shket ulam niga mayan uka. You cham lian ogle Mariam dene oyerlen ulana. Yolagay Berengem pagale. No. I am single I'm completely, I'm completely alone or on my own. I don't have anyone, or I don't have absolutely anyone. Yeah. So I don't have children, and I got divorced. It's like I don't respect lazy, and I don't know what poreng. It's
A man.
Man. I don't respect lazy man. And Valentina, it's yours.
Yeah.
Okay. Shkeje arolikim muzikim yaratem. Kayen kirtam tudindek ale tudoshkemidekem tolim kirtesh. Surtem ulo ilem morko rayonishto. So as far as I'm concerned, I like order and music. I can come to your place, I guess, but maybe it's good if you can come to my place as well. I do have accommodation, and I live in Morko Rayon.
Very good.
Sorry, Jeremy, one more comment. It sounds like the ladies are kind of like advertising themselves to actually offer a place to live, and probably kind of like a full board to the men. So
I mean, it's hard to talk about this without stereotyping a bit, but I mean, this is in Russia general thing that, like, here, if you're 27 and you're single, life is over for a woman, is kind of like the stereotype there, because you have this huge discrepancy in life expectancy and whatnot, that Russian men, a lot of them die very young. Like you have alcoholism, you have crazily dangerous roads, and of course you have wars. So there are not that many men, and it's like the dynamics are in the dating scene are very strange. That basically, as a woman, it's like the stereotype, but it's like a stereotype that is based on like how things actually work. You have to they put up with a lot of shit. So it's like offering the room and board and whatnot. It's like, yeah, you're making yourself extra attractive just to find someone, kind of. It'd be like my now stereotypical view of things. Okay, then, whoops. Wait, maybe I'll temporarily take these out so that you can see the vocabulary. And we start with Luan, and you can stop in the half of it if it's too much, if you want.
Okay, so me shketin ilem, I live alone. Achamden avam uka ulit, so I have no father and mother. Vatan shochan ligen omel, so wait, it was Vatan shochan is like wife or children. So is this something like I have no family, or I don't know?
So Vatan is like having a wife, Shochan is having children. So I did not become with wife and children. I didn't get a family or whatnot.
Oh, okay. So
for the first for the first moment, I was a bit confused too, because Vatan is the Tatar word for homeland. A big word, but that has nothing to do with it.
Then Kukshidem Shida Shimla coded centimeter.
Just good.
What? Oh, could, okay. Then Nelitam Shimla kilogram. So my height is 176 centimeters and my weight 70 kilograms.
Yeah.
Arakam omyu damakim shupsh, so I don't drink alcohol, and I don't smoke. I don't smoke tobacco, so probably something else. So wait, Timatla Paroyeng Olam. So wait. So I'm a modest a good person. Milanem Nila Shim E Timesh. So I turned 47 years. Then redakcji Polsche Moderne ala Pelashim Muam Chatkata Kapanim Vesela Komelanim. So with the help of the like, what is this, like Redaktion?
Editorial office or so.
Oh, editorial office. I maybe searching for a partner, or
maybe I'll find a spouse. Yeah.
Okay. So wait.
Yeah, wait.
So Chatkata is something like, I forgot.
Yeah, like let me like slender or so. Wait, let me see how exactly we translated it in the glossary. Yeah, you probably are gonna have it from the dictionary faster.
Yes, so something like elegant, graceful, handsome.
Yeah.
So like like, and it's something like I have an elegant body, or
not
yeah, I'm a bit confused where.
Yeah, so this is syntactically a bit unusual. This is this so-called apposition that we have. We're talking about, he says, maybe I will find a
so this is still about the
exactly.
work. Okay, so this was so then like I find someone, then maybe I will find someone with like handsome, elegant body and like merry or happy mind. And then Ilham Yalishta live in the village or countryside.
Yep, very good. Then wait, maybe I'll do it like this. So next up is Sandra, and I'm with all of these gonna, like, everybody can decide if they want to do the whole thing or if they're sick of it halfway through.
Okay, Yrera Mashkurno Lashtik ala Milanem Pilashem Muash Polsha. Wait, where's Lashtik? Page, okay. Pilashem was more spouse. Maybe the Women's Road, which is probably the Women's Road page helps me find a spouse.
Yeah. Yeah, and I read this as Yrera Corner, just the name of a magazine or so. Maybe the pages of A Woman's Road, this magazine, are going to help me find a spouse.
I thought the category of this whole thing is
could also be, I'm not sure, but
okay. Milanem Vitle Kok E. I'm 52 years old. Kukshitem Shudo Kutlo Kut centimeter. I am 1 meter 66 tall. Yumash Shukshmash Uke, no drinking and smoking. Obrazovaniam Kidalash Specialny. Wait, what is that? Education connection special, what?
Yeah, no, Kidalash is like middle level or so. It's like medium. But
my education is
this is going to be the kind of thing that only makes sense if you know the Russian educational system, I think. It's like I have a middle level specialized education or something.
Oh,
like
okay. Okay. So he probably did some kind of like vocational training after school and so on.
That's how I would read it, yeah.
Okay, shkit eleme öderamash den parliament. I would like to meet a woman. I would like to meet with a woman who's living by herself.
Yeah.
Pacerem uke ilash kusnash kunem. I do not have a flat. Kunash. Is it there?
And you can also translate as
I agree to.
yeah, I'm willing, or so you could say.
I'm willing to live Kusnash.
It's relocate.
I'm willing to relocate. Okay, cool.
Well, that's very kind of you. Yeah. About this, I'm not sure if we have already met it, but this is sort of an emphatic negation that I think it's coming still in chapters to come. That if you say shubshmash uke, this is literally the smoking, the nominalization, and then with uke, it can mean like I don't smoke at all. Like categorically, I don't smoke. Categorically, I don't drink. Yeah.
Okay, but it also strikes me as very very fitting for the genre.
Yeah. Okay, then Sonia, how much of it do you feel like doing?
Sorry, I can either do the whole lot, or again, I can split with Valentina so that she can also enjoy the genre.
Yeah,
if it's okay for her, yeah.
We can start and you can see if you're exhausted by the time you get to the middle.
Okay. I think by the time I get to the middle, everyone else will be exhausted. It'll be alishte kumlo iash ulam kukshitam shudo shimle centimeter. I live in a village. I'm 30 years old and 170 centimeters tall. Armeira dam gach perdelmo de chvara fermer ozalun kashte shiferlan ishtem. I would say that after the military service, I work as a chauffeur in the farm. Yeah. I'm not quite sure about Armee Radam, but I suppose it is related to the army.
Yeah, it's like the rows of the army or so.
Yeah,
like...
yeah. Tamakam shupsham nonimukai basalik dechpusna shuan kertam. So like I smoke, but yes, sorry, yes,
difficulty. Maybe erase the part that
so like I don't have problems to stop.
Yeah, I could stop without any kind of difficulties.
Okay. Arakalan Shriman Omal. I suppose this means I don't drink.
Yeah. Yeah, so literally this Schumann is with a heart or so, but you also like use it like if you're interested in something with the dative, like I don't care for alcohol basically.
Avaidine Pertushtana Ilana, I live with my mom in a house. Ozanlik Shtana Ikradam Denechla Ulo. In our farm or enterprise.
It's a bit strange if you ask me, but
in general. Okay. Oh, it's like in our farm there is everything in
We
general.
basically have everything. Yeah.
Okay, Valentina, I think you can take over if you find it fitting
Yeah,
and
sure.
doable. Thank you.
Is it? Are we at Ozanlik?
No, at ikte. Yeah.
Okay. Ikte gina oxite melanem shumpelash da availan sai shishke. So just basically just one thing that I'm looking for, kind of a good wife for me and a good daughter-in-law for my mother.
Exactly.
Yeah. Allah vashishta shonem yalishte ilash kelshishe kolo kud koloshim yashpor mari udir ale udiramash. Okay, just 1 second. I am stuck with vashishta.
Respond.
Response. Okay. So I'm looking forward to responses or answers from nice Mari girls, basically, or older girls, who are between 23 and 27 and like to live in the village.
Yeah. So it's like perhaps it
Perhaps,
will answer, I think, a Mari girl or woman in this age group.
in this age group who likes to live in the village. Yeah.
Yeah, I like how he puts the upper limit 3 years younger than himself.
Yeah, this guy has a lot of requirements.
Yeah.
Serish dene perlea shkenjin fotosurechim koltakin eshat sailiash illa. Okay. So if you could include a photo, I guess, with your letter, it would be great.
It would be even better, basically.
Even better, yeah.
Oh God.
My God. Yodam uda shunemash dene serme obgash kul. Okay, so I kindly ask you to kind of refrain from writing if you are having like bad intentions, I guess.
Yeah, it's like basically don't send me just to make fun of me, which kind of makes me think that he realizes that he deserves to be made fun of.
But are they real? I guess they are not real.
No, they're made up. But yeah, it's kind of reminds me like if you have some kind of protest movement that goes with the slogan, was it Namni Studna, we are not ashamed. You probably on some level realize that you should be ashamed. People in the future might have difficulties figure out what I'm talking about. Check the date when this was recorded. Okay, then the really nice and spicy last one goes to Luan, and if it's too much for you, then Sandra can also take part of it.
Okay, so Yudbich Kamish, it means dark of the night or something.
Yes, darkness of the night.
This is my favorite way. I need to write something like this and start it with exactly this sentence. So Mardash Piregai Ormishesh. So wait. Oh, here's the vocal. No, can't find here. So the wind howls like a wolf.
Yes.
Usually Ognam Bergala, so a cold rain knocks at the window.
Yep.
Shonlan tuge Yokrok isi yochela short and called the Moshoesh. So wait. Where is this? You can see it.
Sorry, it's up here. So that it's more familiar.
I just couldn't find Yokrok, and here it is. So wait, so it's like boring for the soul or something. Okay.
Like,
what?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, if your soul is like, this is sometimes like we translate as boring, but it's like in Mari as in Russian also, the concept of boring intersects with yearning. Like,
okay.
these things, something like if your heart is yearning or so, or your heart is yearning, and
so I like feel like crying like a little child.
yeah, like you want to, your heart is yearning and you want to cry like a little child.
This is now. So then isigården var ongish tysnen shorten koltet ava wigich nialten lublandaren poro shomakim kalasen chonem serastara ilya. So when I was little, my mom wait.
I think it's still like painting this picture like when you were little, like
when you were little. Okay, so you like broke into tears, so pressing
like
yourself to your mom's chest. So then mom wait like stroking from the head, or no.
yeah, your mom stroking you on the head.
So this then I'm calming you down, like saying kind words, and she like calm down your soul. And I think I'll leave the rest of this to Sandra.
Yes. Sandra can get the rest of this amazing person.
Thank you. I mean, so far, I'm honestly wondering if this is a fairy tale or somebody looking for a partner. In the Avai Surastarian Oksenge. But now your mother does not succeed in comforting you.
Yeah.
Lach pagalime da uratime uramash vele kertesh. Just a respecting and loving woman can do so.
Yeah, actually, I think now I've been reading the whole thing the wrong way around, because just a respected and beloved woman can do this. That he was using the second person singular like as an impersonal thing. Like, even though he's saying you, he means like
himself,
one, and in the end effect himself. That yeah, his mom can no longer console him, so he needs a beloved and respected woman.
Fun.
Yep.
Ushanem mein gayak shketen oranish uramash milanem vashishta. Ushan was no. That was Ushan with a talent.
Yeah. Ushanem is like I hope.
I hope. What is Gayak?
Guy is
Guy. Yeah. Okay. Alone like me. And what is Vashishtash?
To reply.
Okay. I hope a woman Olanisha I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
Struggling
A woman who's struggling just like me will reply.
on her own will reply. Okay.
Sandra, sorry, you've left out the part where he says how old he is.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sorry. He's 50
I
years
missed it too.
old. Me Wittler Yashulan.
Okay, I think we can actually skip the matchmaking part unless you really.
I put them all together in a polyamorous household as a social experiment.
Yeah.
Very good choice.
Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, ABCD is the reply. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this guy's either going to be the one that makes life spicy for everyone, or who ends up having everyone in parts in his freezer.
I mean, not to judge, but he sounds like a whiny little bitch.
Yeah. Yeah, that was not judging. It's like, no offense, but you're an asshole. Yeah. Okay.
Guys, I'm sorry, but I need to leave.
Yeah, I think we can quit at this point because we spend a lot of time on this. There would be other exercises, but we can do it all. Like people can do it individually. So I'm going to stop the recording now,